And then the third reason that I'm here, that I'm very interested in, is expanding on defense issues that are mutual of concern to the United States, to our country, and to Turkey. I serve on the House Armed Services Committee. We are responsible for the writing the rules and writing the laws, thank you, and coming up with the funding for our nation's military. And we have had, fortunately, a long, strong, and successful relationship with Turkey. There's shared intelligence, there's shared weapons technology, there are shared values. In Afghanistan tonight, there are young Turkish soldiers that are fighting next to young American soldiers. And so we want to grow that relationship. We want to have a continued strong military partnership, and that is why leaders like Secretary of Defense Robert Gates have been involved with your community and your organization on a long-term basis. So with those three goals, celebrating our diversity, building our economy, and enhancing our security, what specific things can we do? We've had a wonderful discussion already tonight with the leadership of the organization, but I'd like to talk about some things that I have in mind. When we have visitors, well, let's start with the diversity point first. Let's find a way that we can educate our fellow neighbors in South Jersey about the cultural and religious holidays of this community. This is a good thing. The more that we learn about each other's cultures and traditions, the more we respect each other. So I'd like to, play a role in attending and inviting other elected officials to come to cultural and religious ceremonies that are important to the community so we can show proper respect. You'd be surprised at how little other people know about your culture. Now that's not because of any hostility, but it's because of people live their lives and pay their bills and they're kind of busy. And I think it's important that the more we learn about each other's cultures, the more we respect each other. So we've discussed, the coming religious holidays and cultural holidays that come up that we can participate in together, invite elected officials from both parties at all levels to come in and learn the culture and be part of this. I'd very much like to be part of that. Secondly, on the issue of jobs and economic development, very specifically, when we have a Turkish entrepreneur come to the United States, or the leader of the Turkish entrepreneurial organizations like its chamber, let's try to match up those leaders with our local businesses. So we discussed, for example, the possibility of a company that manufactures hunting rifles and hunting weapons coming to Willingboro. Let's try to welcome that person here. And then let's plug them in to New Jerseyans that the sporting goods stores that might sell their wares. Let's bring some sporting goods store owners, or let's find some distributors, some warehouse companies that might warehouse and distribute their product so they'd be more likely to come here. Again, the selfish motivation is, I think we discussed 30 new jobs as a result of something like that. Boy, I sure would like to be able to go to my constituents tonight and say we created 30 private sector jobs here in South Jersey. That's certainly something we'd like to be able to say. So let's find ways to pair the Turkish entrepreneur who is a pharmaceutical person with a New Jersey pharmaceutical company. Let's find ways to take a Turkish entrepreneur who might have a medical device that they're trying to license and sell with a New Jersey medical device company. If we have a Turkish entrepreneur that is in financial services, in banking, in securities, let's hook that person up with leaders in our community so they can work together. Again, accessing that 70 to 75% of wealth that's not generated in America, and trading, having commerce, is something that will generate great opportunities and jobs for people in South Jersey. Let's work together and do that. And then finally on defense, I would like this group to be a counsel and advisor to me as I confront the issues that we confront in the Armed Services Committee. There are questions about shared military endeavors. There are questions about weapons systems that come up from time to time. And frankly, I want to have a well-balanced view of these issues, and it would be very helpful to me if the leadership of the organization would consult with me and give me that opportunity. Let me again congratulate you. What I saw in my conference room that day a year and a half or so ago was a determined group of people that were successful in their own right, but then wanted to share that success with the broader community. And I expected success, and my expectations were wholly met. To see a beautiful headquarters like this, to see representation from our consulate in New York City, to see so many people, young people in particular, and I thank them for helping in our campaign. We had people doing phone calls for us and putting up signs, and I'm very, very, very grateful for that. You've exceeded my expectations, and I congratulate you for that. Now let's exceed them again. Let's find ways to enrich our neighbors' understanding of the culture and faith and tradition of the Turkish American people. Let's find ways to grow jobs in South Jersey by expanding commerce. And let's find ways to make our country, the United States, more secure with a positive and secure military relationship with Turkey for years to come. I thank you very much for listening.